How do collectors protect vintage beer labels from damage? Imagine holding a piece of brewing history in your hands, a label that tells a story from decades ago. Preserving these tiny pieces of art is a real craft, and collectors take it seriously. To keep vintage beer labels in top shape, they start by understanding what materials they're made of. Paper labels are common on older European beers and are especially vulnerable to moisture, fading, and tearing. Foil labels, often on premium bottles, can be delicate and prone to creasing or peeling. Plastic-coated labels are more durable but can still suffer from adhesive breakdown over time. Knowing what your label is made of helps determine the best protection method. Temperature control is key. Collectors keep their storage areas steady, usually between 60 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Fluctuating temperatures can cause adhesives to weaken or paper to warp. Humidity levels are also carefully monitored, ideally kept between 30 and 50%. Too much moisture invites mold and paper rot, while too little makes labels brittle and prone to cracking. Light is another enemy. Direct sunlight or bright artificial lights can fade colors and cause foil labels to yellow or crack. Many collectors store labels in dark places or use UV protective covers to block harmful rays. Handling labels gently is a must. When removing a label from a bottle, collectors use the freezer method. They place the bottle in a plastic bag and freeze it for a few hours. Freezing hardens the adhesive, making it easier to peel the label off without tearing. They use plastic scrapers, not sharp tools, to lift the label carefully. Once removed, labels are mounted on acid-free cardstock with archival quality adhesives. They work slowly, pressing from the center outward to avoid wrinkles. During mounting, they keep labels slightly curled to maintain flexibility and prevent creases. Drying is another important step. After removal or cleaning, collectors lay labels on wax paper and let them air dry completely. Sometimes they place heavy books or flat weights on top to keep the labels flat and prevent curling. This process can take several hours or even overnight. Proper drying stops mold and bacterial growth that could damage the labels later. Serious collectors invest in special storage solutions. They use interlocking grid systems to keep each label separate and avoid contact that could cause damage. Labels are stored in acid-free sleeves or folders that shield them from dust, dirt, and environmental harm. Many keep detailed records of each label, noting the brand, year, and origin. This helps them track their collections and avoid losing important information. For labels still attached to bottles, collectors are very careful. They avoid soaking bottles in water or using harsh chemicals. Instead, they use gentle methods like the freezer technique or steam to loosen adhesives. When removing labels, they peel slowly from one corner, working carefully to prevent tearing or color bleeding. If labels are fragile, they may need extra support during removal. To prevent damage, collectors always apply steady, even pressure. They avoid pulling too quickly or using excessive force. Soaking times are kept short, usually under 30 minutes, to prevent colors from bleeding or paper from disintegrating. After removal, they clean labels gently to remove any residual adhesive or dirt. This keeps the labels in good shape for display or storage. Protecting vintage beer labels is about patience and attention to detail. Each step, from understanding the material to careful handling and proper storage, helps preserve these pieces of brewing history. By following these methods, collectors ensure that these labels stay vibrant and intact for future generations to appreciate.